Hey YouTube, Travis here. Tonight I'm going to finally get around to doing all the repairs needed for the iBook G3. I've got the AC adapter here, I have the RAM module, which will upgrade it to its maximum of 512, and then plus the 64 onboard that it has. I have the 40 gig hard drive to replace the one that's failing in the iBook, and then I have the new display. I'm going to be using the repair guide from, I think it's iFixit, and this is 14 pages of well-detailed pictures, and this is probably the most useful guide I've been able to find on the net. Alright, well I'll pop this guy open and give you guys an update. Okay, so I pulled the battery out, flipped over the keyboard here, and this is where an airport card would go if I actually had one. And then those two screws right there hold the RAM shield in place. The memory goes under that. It took me a while, but I got all of these screwdrivers that I use for working on computers in one place. Various sets of Phillips flathead and Torx screws. And especially on a guy as intricate as the iBook G3, you'll probably end up using all of these. I also just want to say that this is not a how-to tutorial. Please view the one online how to do that, and there's other YouTubers who have posted very in-depth videos on how to do this. Just this is my commentary on my experience with this repair project. Anyway, real quick, I have this 33-piece security bit set, which is a awesome investment. I'm not sure if I'll get to use these on this project, but I just want to point this out there that I've used this on other things like miniature toys with voice recordings in them and whatnot. The hex tools on them are usually really hard to get into, but this has almost everything, and there's a ton of them on eBay. I think they can be had for $10 with shipping included in a lot of cases. Alright, let's get going. I thought so. On the very back here there's these hex bits, and it was the smallest one in the second row for me that fit this guy perfectly. Awesome. Man, this guy's actually probably one of the hardest laptops I've ever had to take apart. It's got these little tabs right here, and you need to get a screwdriver on them and pop up this whole bottom case. This is after I dealt with 3 different types of screws already, just on the bottom of the case. Screws in here, tabs all around, prying just to get this guy up. It's quite a fight with plastic, which is one of the most evils known to modern man. Alright, I'll keep you updated on the progress. Aha, the bottom! Well, I've finally removed all of the power cables and all of the screws as dictated online. Something very interesting about the trackpad connector. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. The lighting here is not super good. It's right in the middle of the camera. You pull up on it not to remove the trackpad connector, but to unlock a mechanism and then pull a ribbon cable out. That wasn't depicted so clear online at the time this video was made, so hopefully that gets edited a bit better, but I figured that out thankfully without damaging anything. And then the connector for the white and blue cable right there, that just popped out like normal, and then the connector here for the audio is the red and black, and that was also just a pop-out connector, and you really got to use a screwdriver or a dental pick to get that out, because the connectors are pretty well wedged in there, and if you pull on the wires you risk ripping them out of the socket or damaging the motherboard connector part thing. Alright, let's move on. Finally, the guts of the iBook G3. I had to tear apart, well, I had to remove another 14 screws before I could tear apart that little I guess metal shield there, and I just removed the pin from the logic board for the hard drive connector. And I'm going to swap the hard drive out now, and then we'll take a look and see what we can do about the screen. Okay, and now I've got the hard drive out. This is the case. This is the original Seagate, I believe this is a 10 gig drive. Oh, wait a minute. Now I know someone had been in here before me. There's a piece of Scotch tape. I guess it was on the cover, but there was a piece of Scotch tape. You really don't see that inside computers. This is also a Seagate 40 gig drive. This definitely came with a 10. That's what the eBay page listed, and that's what the top of the palm rest case listed this guy as. Very unusual. Looks like down here, this piece of memory. I'm not sure if that's soldered to the motherboard or if that is someone upgraded this at some point. Very unusual. So yeah, someone's been in here before, and this is a 40 gig drive, and I am replacing it with this, ironically, also a Seagate 40 gig drive. Also a Momentus, it looks like. Yep. Interesting. Generations are probably a little bit different, but interesting. Alright, so we'll pop all this back together and see what she does. To replace the LCD, I'm assuming it's just these two screws right here, and my new LCD even came with all the cable connectors still attached, so I'm sure it's just a plug and chug. It's going to be a pain, but they can be done. Alright, I'll update you guys next. Oh yes, one final rant. After once again using a plethora of screwdrivers to attack this, let me see if I can get it in the light. These are completely, these black things that hold the hard drive in, are a completely different style of hex screw. And I'm going to have to dig through this to find one for it, which I'm sure I can, but still, it's like, really? So hard drive is in, the new memory is in. Next we're going to tackle the screen, which again I'm pretty sure is those two connectors and then just, those two screws and then just a bunch of connectors. I'll let you know. Real quick, I'll go through the connectors. This is an antenna if you have an airport card. Eventually I'll be adding one. This is a display thing, I think. Curiously enough, my old display has this brown cable here. Well, the new one does not. We'll see if that affects anything. I'm sure it probably won't. But this is unusual because this is the first generation, the 500 megahertz iBook. So you would think this would be the one with the least number of connectors. I mean, you know, the design hasn't been changed at all. They haven't had to add anything, but this looks like it's more minimal. Maybe this is the display connector right here that looks more appropriate. But this and this are just plugged in over here somewhere. I'm about to get those out. Alright, so I'm pretty jacked right now. The dungus, whoever took this out of whatever iBook it was in, I guess just pulled on it, and I don't know if you see there. Focus, 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 focus. Maybe not. This white cable here is not where it needs to be in there. So this means I gotta do a little bit more work with my soldering iron. Jeez, oh man. I know this is the sound cord. It'd be lovely to have a computer with no sound, wouldn't it? Not cool. Not cool at all. Maybe. Ugh. I'd like to say I could salvage the cord off of this one, which I carefully took the time to remove. But, I doubt the other end of this is plug and play. Doesn't look like it. I'm probably, because I hate dealing with the ends of connectors, I'm probably going to cut this and solder the wires, but I'm not going to be able to do that till tomorrow morning. I was hoping to have this guy closed up by the end of tonight because it is pretty late out. Alright, well, looks like YouTube, you're going to get a video of the final product. The process of putting this back together is going to be a pain. Ugh. Let there be screen! Oh my gosh, I am so happy. So I just spent past probably half hour putting this guy back together. So frustrating. If you ever take one of these apart, make sure you take some masking tape or something and make sure you tape these screws to exactly the place where you removed it from, because to start with, this was already missing screws, and then I had a bunch of screws that were different lengths and I had no idea where they went, and it was a pain and it took forever to figure out, but I did figure it out, and here we sit. It made the startup chime when I turned it on, so that makes me think the sound is okay. Maybe the connection that's severed is the microphone or the line in. And if it's a microphone, then I can get a USB mic or something. It's not a big deal. Ooh, I am happy. I am very happy. Next I'll do a video of me installing OS X. Ah, this is cool. I mean, it was something that display didn't work, hard drive didn't work. It sees there's a folder, it sees the hard drive, I hope. So we'll see if we can make this work. Oh my gosh, this was a pain though. This was like the least user-friendly computer to take apart. I had to use a ton of different screwdrivers and stuff like that, and it was long and complicated and laborious process just to get to the hard drive, but upgraded RAM, new hard drive, new screen, we'll see what happens. Pictures, and this is probably the most useful guide I've been able to find on the net. Alright, well I'll pop this guy open and give you guys an update. Okay, so I pulled the battery out, flipped over the keyboard here, and this is where an airport card would go if I actually had one, and then those two screws right there. I have the 40 gig hard drive to replace the one that's failing in the iBook, and then I have the new display. I'm going to be using the repair guide from, I think it's iFixit, and this is 14 pages of well-detailed pictures. Hey YouTube, Travis here. Tonight I'm going to finally get around to doing all the repairs needed for the iBook G3. I've got the AC adapter here, I have the RAM module, which will upgrade it to its maximum of 512, and then plus the 64 onboard that it has. Hold the RAM shield in place. The memory goes under that. It took me a while, but I got all of these screwdrivers that I use for working on computers in one place. Various sets of Phillips flathead and Torx screws. And especially on a guy as intricate as the iBook G3, he'll probably end up using all of these. I also just want to say that this is not a how-to tutorial. Please view the one online how to do that. And there's other YouTubers who have posted very in-depth videos on how to do this. Just this is my commentary on my experience with this repair project.